Hello and welcome to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Berryville, Clarke County edition. Nate Stalvey is back on the Zooms with me. He is the Executive Director at the Clarke County Historical Association. You've got a lot coming up. I bet you're somewhat grateful for the break in this heat because Colonial Kids Day is just around the corner.
It is, and I'm really hoping that Colonial Kids Day does not have some of this unbearable heat that we've had lately, because I remember one year in 2017, I believe it was 105 degrees with no breeze, and it was one of the slowest Kids Day events we've ever had, because people were just, after the first hour, people were done. It was too hot.
Even kids who are fairly resilient tend to get a little not friendly at 100 plus degrees.
Oh, definitely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, for sure.
And that's a really fun event, not just for the kids, but also for the parents. You guys really go all in on the experience at Colonial Kids Day.
We do. That's the thing with any kind of program we do, especially Colonial Kids Day, is we want to make it's not just history, it's an event. It's an experience. We want to make this an experience that everybody remembers, that everybody has fun with. It's funny, ever since Colonial Kids Day took off, it started back in 2016, seeing this happen for the first time, and now we're seeing these kids who have been coming to this first Colonial Kids Day. Now they're getting older, they're coming to volunteer, and you're kind of seeing this growth. They're like, oh, I remember Colonial Kids Day. I had so much fun and I want to volunteer at the mill now. And it's really nice to see that long-term payoff of their experience, because they remember like the hands-on activities, the scavenger hunts, all that kind of stuff.
You're not that many years away from those kids bringing their kids to a Colonial
No,
Kids Day.
exactly.
It happens on July 12th, and it does take place at the Burwell-Morgan Mill, which I think is really cool because it really has the right surroundings for an event like that.
It really does.
So what kinds of things will you have there for the kids to do? Because that's a key part of all of this is they're not just walking around looking at things. They actually get to be involved and immerse themselves in the history of colonial days.
Yes, absolutely. The mill's going to be grinding. So we're going to be grinding roasted corn that day. So it's going to be this nice, amazing smell inside the mill. It smells really good when we're grinding roasted corn. We're going to have reenactors there. They're going to get to see some colonial reenactors reenact a rifle firing demonstration. We're going to have some hands-on activities. There's going to be some scavenger hunts that they can do. There's going to be a seamstress there. There's going to be a corn husk doll maker there. It's a lot of great activities for the kids to learn and to be a part of.
It probably really opens a lot of their eyes to what life was like before video games and cell phones and how just cooking a meal was a process, not running
Yes.
through a drive-through like you can these days.
Oh, definitely not. And they're also going to see like a blacksmith will be there that they can participate with the blacksmith. It's going to be really fun. Yeah.
Is it for a certain age group of child?
No, not really. It's really open to kids of all ages, families and kids of all ages.
You probably have a fair amount of adults that force their kids to come because they want to come and see
That's
all of
also
this
true.
stuff.
That's also very true. Yes.
Does it cost anything? Is there an admission fee?
$5 a person. That's it.
And what time does it run?
So it runs from 11 to 4 on Saturday, July 12th. And like I said, let's hope that the weather cooperates. There's been one year where it was 105 degrees, and then there was another year where it just monsooned the entire time. Let's hope we have something that's not monsooning and not very hot.
Somewhere in the middle would be great.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's a pretty busy event. On a good year with good weather, it's pretty packed over there. I mean, you get lots and lots of people that attend.
We do. We get several hundred people that come to this event. And last year, I think we had, oh man, 400 plus people come. It was packed all day long. People were there the entire time. There are people showing up even like a half hour before it ended, just showing up, coming in. It really is it's an experience, and people, when they come, they have the ability to just stay for a while. And then right across the street, you've got Lock Store with great food, and you can sit out on the meadow with your food. You can sit, if it's too hot, you can sit inside the buttery. It's a great partnership we have with them, and it gives it a day for people to spend in Millwood and in Clarke County.
I think sometimes for someone who maybe has just driven by the mill and not actually pulled into the parking lot and walked around on the grounds or come inside, they don't realize just how much space you have. I can imagine somebody who's not ever been there listening to us going, how are they fitting all of that stuff in that tiny space? It's much larger than it looks when you drive by.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Once you walk out on that meadow, then you're like, oh wow, this is way bigger than it looks from the road. It's a different perspective when you're actually out on there.
Do you have more details about who's going to be doing what at Colonial Kids Day on your social media or on your website?
We do have some information out there. Yes, we've got on the website, we've got some information on who will be there. Sons of the American Revolution will be there. Newtown History Center will be there. Loudoun Heritage Farm Museum will be there. The blacksmith, as I mentioned, will be there. Sky Meadows will also be there. Yeah, we're going to have a nice turnout.
I know I always say this every time we talk about this event, but it's a great way for parents to sneak that education in on the kids, but while they don't even realize it because they're looking at all these cool things and doing these fun things and they don't even realize they're learning history while they're there.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's always fun to see the responses from these kids and how much fun they're having there. It really is something, and they're learning at the same time.
So we got to go to break in a second, but we touched briefly when you were on the show the last time about the Mill Dam project being complete, and you're actually scheduling a celebration for that completion coming up in August.
Yes, that's very true. So the mill dam, thanks to the state money we got last year from the General Assembly, we were able to get some major capital projects finished, and the top one is our mill dam. That was in dire shape. We thankfully to that we were able to get that mill dam completed, and it is up and running. That is a repair that we're not going to have to worry about for many, many, many years. And so in August, on August 15th at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a celebration featuring Delegate Dolores Oates, who is our legislator who introduced the budget amendment into the General Assembly's budget. And we were able to work in getting that through to the General Assembly, and we're going to all celebrate together. Also, that day, we're going to have a pouring of the Millstone Lager from Winchester Brew Works, which was brewed with barley that was ground at the mill.
I love when you do stuff like that. I think it is so cool that you can tie in all of these local partners and still bring history into the mix.
Oh, absolutely. And so we're really happy about that, to have that and to be able to celebrate that and to really thank everybody who was involved in that. We're going to try to get the contractors out who worked on the project to talk a little bit about the process and really celebrate with Delegate Oates and the work that she was able to do.
The timing on the completion of that project probably could not have been any better because shortly after it was done, didn't we get like a foot of rain inside of just a couple of weeks? That dam might not have held had
That's
you
very
not gotten
true.
it done.
That's very true. And it was delayed a little bit because we had an unusually cold winter that lasted a little bit longer. And these workers were not going to be able to get into frozen water to do this work. It was extended by about a month, but they got it done. They got it done just in time. And the water wheel was operating during the art show, which we were very happy about. And then we were able to complete our first grind right after the art show started.
So, speaking of the art show, let's take a break. When we come back, I know you've got a call for artists. It's about to go out for the fall Art at the Mill show, but you actually have art hanging at the mill now. Can you give me details for both of those in the next segment?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to do all of that when we come back. We are on the Zooms for Tourism Tuesday, Berryville, Clarke County edition. Nathan Stalvey is joining us. He is the Executive Director at the Clarke County Historical Association. We're going to come back and talk with him more in just a couple of minutes. Hello, nonprofits. Have a project that's been sitting on the back burner? United Way NSV's Day of Caring returns on September 19th, and your nonprofit can be a part of it. This is the region's largest single-day volunteer event with over 900 volunteers ready to help. Whether it's painting, landscaping, organizing, or repairs, Day of Caring gives your organization hands-on support and saves thousands in maintenance costs. It's simple. Submit your project, let United Way match you with a team, focus more of your budget on what matters most, your mission. Learn more at unitedwaynsv.org/Day of Caring or reach out to dayofcaring@unitedwaynsv.org. Let us send helping hands your way. Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is Tourism Tuesday, Berryville, Clarke County edition. I am back on the Zooms today with Nathan Stalvey. He is the Executive Director at the Clarke County Historical Association. In the first segment, we learned about Colonial Kids Day. It's just around the corner, July 12th at the Burwell-Morgan Mill. You can find details about that on their Facebook and social media outlets. Mill Dam celebration also coming up in August. You were talking, Nate, about how excited you were that Mill Dam project got finished and you were able to run the water wheel during Art at the Mill. The fall show is going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Between the spring and the fall show, it's always a little stressful because you just got past the spring show. You're like, okay, we can take a breather. Next thing I know, I'm looking in emails like, oh, we got to send the call for artists out soon. It's like, oh man, we just ended the spring show. I love the art show. The art show is tremendous, but it's an undertaking. So the call for artists is going out Monday, July 7th. So artists will have the month of July to get their entries ready to submit. We want to have as many artists participate as possible. The art show is a great show. It really helps. It's the sales from the show really helps CCHA and keep that water wheel going at the mill, but it also enables us to fulfill our mission to do programs, to conduct research. And this is a great way for artists to get recognized. That we really do an exceptional job at marketing the show all over the Valley and Northern Virginia. We get a lot of people from the DC metro area and Nova that come in for the show, specifically for the show. It is probably the busiest time in Millwood is during the art show. And this is a great way for artists to get recognized, for their art to be seen. We love our artists, and it's hard to believe this show's been going on since 1990.
That
So this is
seems
30,
crazy.
I know, 35 years. It's insane.
I cannot even begin to imagine the number of people that have probably been introduced to the mill because you've had art there through the Art at the Mill program.
Yeah, when we see how many people have come through, a lot of them come back. Last year, we had so many new artists. The second Sunday of the show, we have this artist reception, and that's a chance for like a thank you. We cater food. It's open to all the artists to bring their friends. It's for artists to meet each other and interact with each other. And so it's also building this artist community and seeing so many new artists. They were so excited to meet all these new artists and so excited to be there. This is their red carpet kind of thing, and they had a blast. And we're so thankful for all the artists that participate in this show. Whether they get one work in or whether they get all five works in, it's always so nice to see everybody that comes in.
And it's important to point out that this is a juried show. So you could have 3,000 artists submit 4 pieces a piece. They're not all going to get into the show because you have limited space.
We do. We have limited space and time. And so, what we try to do is we try to get about 900 or so pieces selected in the show, because by doing that much, we can guarantee that every work of art submitted to the show gets seen and is out on display during the show. With more artists that participate, then the jurying does become more stringent. So, I would say be prepared. If you don't get in, that doesn't mean you shouldn't try again. Like we've seen artists not get in for a couple of years and all of a sudden, boom, they get everything in. So it's just all about what the jury looks at, and it's just constant vigilance to put in there. We've had artists who submitted for the first time and get something in. It's a very stringent juried show. So if you get in, you've done a fantastic job, and that speaks volumes about the work that you're putting in.
And we talk too, when we're talking about the show itself, that it's such a diverse selection of art. So typically, sometimes people hear the word art and they think of a painting that you hang on the wall. But you accept wood turners, you have people who do metal work, you have glass blowers. It's not just paintings that people can
Mhm.
submit as art.
Yeah, we have sculptures in there. We have wood turning in there as well. Sometimes we have glass work that's in there. It's a little bit of everything for everyone.
I would encourage artists that maybe have a particular niche. Like my recent obsession is with tiny art. I love being able to buy something that's only 4 inches by 4 inches and buy 5 or 6 of them to make a collection on the wall. So if there's an artist out there that has this unique niche, it's a great way to kind of get their feet wet to see if it's something that could get into the Art at the Mill show.
Yeah, we're always looking for something that people say, "Well, I've never seen that before. That's interesting." Yeah, it's small, big. We've got art in many styles and many different mediums and many different sizes.
And you have art hanging at the mill right now, which is kind of unusual, right?
It is, and very, very happy to talk about this. So we were approached by a local artist. He wishes to remain anonymous. He wanted to basically put some works, it's about 30 some works in the show, and it's up at the mill right now on the second floor, and we call it Summer Support Art Show. The works that he submitted to the show, it's very interesting. This works very different than your normal art show. So these works come in and he's got it all on display, and they're wonderful works. 100% of the sales of the works go towards the Burwell-Morgan Mill to support the Burwell-Morgan Mill. So the artist doesn't take any cut. This is a complete 100% donation. So if you buy artwork, 100% of those sales go towards supporting the Burwell-Morgan Mill. That is very, very gracious for this artist to do. And this show runs up through August 15th. The show will be up through August 15th. So I encourage people to come up. Oh, and here's the really amazing kicker. The prices for the works are determined by the buyer.
What?
So all we ask for buyers is minimum $50. Anything you want to pay above $50, we'll graciously accept. So if you see a work there and you say, you know what, I'll give you $100 for it, we will take $100 for it. If you want to pay $50 for it, we will take $50 for it. If you pay $500, we'll take $500. It's all dependent upon the buyer because we really want to promote art. We really want to get this out there. We want people to support the mill. This is a win-win. Working with this artist has been great. He's an amazing person. He's a longtime supporter of the mill. So we were extremely excited to get this up and installed. And I can't wait for more people to come in there and check it out.
Is it all different sizes and colors and
Oh, yes.
content?
It's mostly abstracts, but it is all different sizes, all different contents. We've sold several works so far, and we've been very thankful and gracious of the people who've come in and they've spent the money on the show. And we are very, very happy to see just again supporting this art. But again, this artist remaining anonymous, he's making it about supporting local art, also supporting the mill and supporting. This is a big community support kind of show. So we highly encourage people to come on out. If you're an art lover, this is a great way to purchase some art, support local art, but also help us keep this mill going.
I think that the whole pricing thing is genius because there have been times where I've seen a piece of art and I love it, but it's just a hair outside of my budget. And I don't want to offend somebody by saying, I know that you want 300 for that. Could I give you 250, which is what I could afford? This is great because you can walk in and say, look, this is how much I've got. And I love this. And I want to give you this much money for it. I think that is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, we've been seeing some work sell so far, and I can't wait to sell some more over the summer.
Okay, my next question, because I haven't seen it yet, is are there some orange pieces? Should I get to the mill today?
You should get to the mill. There's some orange in some of those pieces. There's a lot of different colors. So yes, you should absolutely get to the mill.
And when is the mill open for this show?
So the mill is open Fridays and Sundays, 12 to 5, and Saturdays, 10 to 5, all through the summer.
And then, of course, you're open July 12th for Colonial Kids Day. So that's a nice way for the parents to be able to walk around and see some things while their kids are having fun that day.
Yes, absolutely. I highly encourage people to come out for that and see the artwork. That'll be on full display during Colonial Kids Day. And once you purchase the work, you can take it with you right there.
It's a kind of a double-edged sword because August 15th is when it comes down. That's when you're doing the Mill Dam celebration. You don't necessarily want to have an empty mill because you want everybody to be able to see the art, but you kind of do want to have an empty mill because you want everyone to have bought all of the beautiful pieces.
For sure. The more we can sell, the better it is for us and for the artists as well.
And then you have a membership drive that's coming up in August as well, if I recall.
That's right. We're going to do our annual membership drive in August. We welcome new members to be a part of this. It's a great way to support us. You get discounts at our events. You get to use our archives and research library for free, and you get a copy of our annual publication of proceedings. So I can't wait for people to be a part of this.
And you've got a new archivist on staff, a curator now that has joined your team. Do you want to give her a quick shout out? I know she's very new.
Yes, I do. Her name is Dana Getka, and she is our curator of archives and exhibitions. So her focus is going to be maintaining our historic collection and archives, as well as developing content for temporary exhibits and helping revamp some of our permanent exhibit displays, and eventually giving some talks in the future on some of the research. She's from Maryland. She has a master's in information science as well as a master's in history. So she's very excited. She's only been here a week. So right now she's learning the vast collection and learning all about Clarke County's history. She was, I think, very pleasantly surprised at how much history is in this county. So I told her, don't worry, take your time. There's a lot here. There's nothing too pressing. I just want you to learn everything at this moment, and then we can develop over the next several months, and we can develop some ideas for what to do for exhibits and potential programs in 2026.
Doesn't she have, I seem to recall seeing your Facebook post with introducing her. Doesn't she have a particular interest in military history? That's going to be a nice twist.
Yes, very interesting, specifically World War I history. And she loves Lloyd Williams, who was from Clarke County. Yeah, she's very big into World War I history. And I think she's going to find some fascinating items in our collection that relate to people in Clarke County who were involved in World War I and who were overseas. So, yeah, that could be a potential talk that she does on World War I history.
As we wrap up, where can people go to learn more about the different exhibits, about the events that you have, hours for the mill, the location for the mill? Where's the best first place for them to go?
I would say our website, clarkehistory.org, is definitely going to be the best place to go. And then also in social media, we're Instagram at Clarke History, and then on Facebook at Clarke History as well. And then the Burwell-Morgan Mill, you'll find out everything about art at the mill and the mill itself on those social media platforms as well.
And going to the mill when you're grinding is the coolest experience ever. So I highly recommend that. Do you grind on a regular schedule?
Every Saturday through the summer, and then we stop for the fall art show, and then we pick it back up mid-October through mid-November.
Fantastic. I'm putting all those dates on my calendar.
Excellent.
Thank you for taking some time today. I do appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
I will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Valley Today. Nikki Foster is going to join me from the Front Royal Warren County Chamber of Commerce for an update on all the cool fun things they have going on. So meet me back here for that just a few minutes after noon.